Most small talk advice feels artificial because it is. Just be yourself, they say, while simultaneously telling you to memorize conversation starters that feel nothing like you. This guide takes a different approach, one that honors your introvert nature while building genuine connection skills. The hidden power of introvert small talk. As introverts, we have a secret advantage. We're naturally good listeners. The key is learning to leverage this strength while overcoming our hesitations around initiating and sustaining conversations. Small talk isn't about being the loudest or most charismatic person in the room. It's about creating momentary connections that can either end pleasantly or open doors to deeper relationships. Both outcomes are perfectly acceptable. The mindset shift from performance to curiosity. The first step is reframing what small talk actually is. It's not a performance to be judged, a competition to be the most interesting, a test of your social worth. Instead, think of it as a brief connection between two humans, an opportunity to learn something new, a moment of shared experience. When you approach conversations with genuine curiosity rather than anxiety about how you're being perceived, the entire dynamic changes. The pressure dissolves because you're focused outward, not inward. Pre-conversation. Preparation 1. The three-topic rule. Before entering any social situation, identify 3 topics you feel comfortable discussing. 1 personal interest, a book you're reading, a podcast you enjoy, 1 current event, non-controversial, 1 question about the environment or occasion. Having these ready reduces the blank mind panic that many introverts experience when suddenly addressed. 2. Energy management. Accept your energy limitations. If attending a party, consider setting a time limit in advance. Taking strategic breaks, bathroom trips, stepping outside, having an exit plan. When you know you can leave when needed, you'll paradoxically feel more relaxed while present. The conversation blueprint stage. 1. The opening. The first 30 seconds set the tone. Use one of these reliable openers. The shared environment approach. Comment on something you both can observe. This venue has such interesting architecture. Have you been here before? The genuine compliment. Notice something specific about the person that required actual attention. That's an interesting pin. Does it have a story behind it? The connection query. If appropriate, establish how they connect to the event. How do you know the host organization? Stage 2. Finding common ground. Listen for hooks in their responses, any detail you can ask about to go deeper. Them. I know Sarah from our photography club. You? Photography? What kind of subjects do you enjoy shooting? This is where your introvert listening skills become your superpower. When people feel truly heard, they're drawn to continue speaking with you. Stage 3. The depth gauge. Not all conversations should remain at surface level. Test the waters with a slightly more substantive question. What's been keeping you busy lately? Have you discovered anything interesting recently? What's something you're looking forward to? Their response will signal whether they're open to more meaningful exchange or prefer to keep things light. Stage 4. The graceful exit. All conversations must end. Rather than awkwardly hanging on or abruptly departing, use these transitions. It was great talking about specific topic you discussed. I should circulate a bit, but I'd love to continue this another time. I need to check on something, would get a drink, say hello to someone. But I really enjoyed hearing about your reference something they shared. Always end with something specific you appreciated about the conversation. This leaves a positive impression regardless of whether you speak again. The art of questions. The questions you ask dramatically influence conversation quality. The best questions for introverts to ask are open-ended but specific. Show you've been listening. Invite stories rather than facts instead of, do you like your job? Try, what's the most interesting part of your work? Instead of, have you lived here long? Try, what brought you to this area? instead of, "How was your weekend?" Try, "Did you do anything that recharged you this weekend?" Beyond the basics, Advanced Techniques 1, the story scaffold. People connect through stories, not information dumps. When sharing about yourself, use the simple PAR format. Point: one sentence stating the main idea. Action: what happened, briefly. Result: how it turned out or how you felt. Example: I recently tried urban gardening for the first time. Point: I started with herbs on my windowsill, which quickly turned into a full balcony project. Action: now I'm obsessed with homegrown tomatoes and have made friends with all the plant people in my neighborhood. Result: this structure keeps your sharing concise and engaging without rambling, a common introvert concern. 2. The conversational anchor. Finding yourself at a networking event with no familiar faces? Create an anchor point. Position yourself near refreshments or in a walkway. Make brief eye contact and smile at passersby. Have a prop, interesting book, unique accessory that might spark conversation. 3. The return loop circle, back to something mentioned earlier to show you were truly listening. Earlier you mentioned your trip to Portugal. What was your favorite discovery there? This technique is particularly effective when conversation lulls naturally occur. When you're really struggling. Even with these techniques, some days are harder than others. For those moments. 1. The honesty approach. There's nothing wrong with a simple, "I'm usually much more comfortable with deeper conversations than small talk. What's something you're passionate about?" Many people will appreciate the authenticity and the chance to move beyond superficial exchanges. 2. The temporary persona. Some introverts find it helpful to approach social situations as if playing a slightly more outgoing version of themselves. This isn't about being fake. It's about accessing different aspects of your personality temporarily. 3. The observation mode. When you need a break, switch to people watching. Observing dynamics around you can be both restful and insightful, preparing you for your next conversation. Remember, quality over quantity. As an introvert, your goal isn't to speak with everyone in the room or maintain constant chatter. One meaningful 5-minute exchange holds more value than 10 forgettable ones. Your introversion gives you a depth that makes you interesting. People who get past your quiet exterior often find a thoughtful person with unique perspectives and an ability to truly listen, qualities increasingly rare in our distracted world. The more you practice these techniques, the more you'll discover that small talk isn't about filling silence with noise. It's about creating brief bridges between islands of human experience, something introverts with their natural depth and attention are uniquely qualified to do well. See you next video.